Hello, Oracles. Well, it seems that Tesla over in Europe just happens to have too much demand again. After the price cuts that we have seen going on in Europe, demand has gone up. What is Tesla going to do about this? Well, we got some news over in Giga Berlin about an increase in staffing over there, so we're going to dive into that along with some Netflix earnings that we got today, some news that we got out of there, and some other news from Gary Black about the upside potential for Tesla this year. We'll get into all that in just a minute. All right, so to kick things off, we've got Netflix earnings. So, last couple of quarters we had seen Netflix came out with their earnings, and the market kind of started everything off moving one way or the other. Netflix has been the one who kicks off tech earnings. This time last year, when Netflix had their earnings, they came out and the market tumbled from there all year long. So, we are looking at it today. They came out and they beat expectations. They are up. Tesla did not move at all on this news, and looks like their CEO, Reed Hastings, is going to be stepping down. There are rumors that he may be going over to Disney as their CEO, but we will wait to hear about that in the future. But the good news is we have now kicked off tech earnings on a very good note. Is this going to play out all of next week? We are just going to have to wait and see. All right, now in a tweet from Gary Black, he came out and said, average Wall Street Tesla price target, which is 46 analysts, has fallen from $330 to $192. That is down 42% over the last 3.5 months. Fiscal year 23 estimates now down 28% since volume cracks first appeared in Tesla third quarter production and delivery report. The spread between today's price and average price target implies a 53% upside. And so now I understand that some people may read this and kind of sounds bearish because analysts have come down, there are cracks in their volume, but what it truly means here is this is how Wall Street is looking at things. This is one of the reasons I like Gary because he really translates Wall Street to retail investor. And it's important for some retail investors to understand how Wall Street operates. But again, this is still very bullish. 53% upside in 1 year. That's incredible. That's like 53% growth in 1 year. Would you be okay with 53% growth in 1 year? Yes, I know I absolutely would. So, because of that, this is a very bullish statement. From here, based upon the price targets of average analysts, that's one of the things that I pay attention to is what is the average price target? Some are going to be very bullish, some can be very bearish. Where are the trends pulling? So, we have been trending down with these price targets based upon volumes and everything else. But Tesla has already said that their focus is going to be on volume production this year and volume delivery. So if that is the case, we just now have to pay attention to the average selling price of the vehicles and the margins. And we will get some information on that on the Q4 earnings call because we'll have a little taste of it from what we saw from the price cuts in China and at the end of the year here in the US. The real numbers that we're going to see for margins will be coming out in the Q1 earnings call. That is going to be coming out in April. So we have some time between now and then, but based upon Q4 numbers, we'll get a rough estimate and we can probably gauge a little bit better. This weekend, I will be updating my valuation model. So I'll have out my new price targets, valuation estimates for Q4, and my valuation estimates for Q1 based upon all of this new information. I told you guys before, I was waiting for Tesla to come down on their prices. They did just that. Now I feel comfortable updating all of my valuation model for just this. Anyone who is a member or patron, you guys do have access to my valuation model. And if anybody wants to support as a member, it's as low as $1 a month to join all of that. And you guys can see all of my numbers over there. Lots of other perks as well to go along with that. All right, so now to jump over to the main story here, which is the demand problems that they are having over in Europe. And this isn't a lack of demand, it is back to too much demand at the moment. Tesla's Grünheide plant should ramp up output, local minister says. And so this report is from Reuters. It is on many other places as well. So, we usually take a little grain of salt with the Reuters reports, but this one here is legit. So this one here is pretty good, seeing it from many different sources. German Grünheide plant still has some ramping up to do, the economy minister of the state the factory is located in said on Thursday, adding that production should be sped up somewhat to reduce customer waiting times. That has to grow up a bit more, Brandenburg's economy minister Jörg Steinbach said at the podium discussion organized by German union IG Metall on industrial prospects for Eastern Germany. The electric vehicle maker was recruiting 200 to 300 people a week, even as other companies in the region struggled to find talent, the minister added, with the labor force now totaling around 9,000 people. Now, this is big, and this is something that we had discussed previously of was it really worth Tesla going into Berlin with all of the red tape and all the things that they faced to go along the way? Well, one of the reasons that Elon and Tesla chose Berlin was for the talent. They have a giant talent pool that is in there, and now they're tapping into that, and Tesla showing their prowess and all of the desire that people have to go work for Tesla. Tesla is the one who is able to recruit help. Now, you have to remember anybody who is in the working field right now, when you're running short staffed, that's not good for anyone. You're running short staffed. You obviously can't produce as much as you would before. You have people who are working longer than they should. When people are stretched thin, they produce less as well. You end up having more accidents, more problems, more expenses for different things. These people now start asking for more money. Then all of a sudden, the pay rates start going up. So when you start hiring new people on, you need to increase that payroll as well. So Tesla being able to bring on people where other people can't is one of those very subtle things that is going to affect people's bottom lines that a lot of people don't account for. So this is huge. And now Tesla is going to be able to put out more vehicles and again meet with that demand. But the expected delivery of Tesla's basic Model Y to customers in Germany has slipped to February to March, according to the carmaker's website, from January to March prior to the price cut of 17% last week. Tesla hit an output of 3,000 cars per week in late December, more than 2 months later than planned, according to a memo seen by Reuters. This is something we discussed and we knew about this. And so this is great to hear that demand is still going up. So the price cuts that happened over in Europe are definitely making an impact. We saw here in the US, it obviously made an immediate impact. Now we've kind of seen a leveling off of inventory. So it ticked up a little bit over the last couple of days. Nothing really to be any concerned about. But the fact that, we had this massive price cut in the US, and back when we saw that price cut come at the end of 2022, inventory went nearly down to zero. Now we figured it would go down to zero just as it did before. There was a much bigger price cut and the EV tax credit on top of it, but it did not come down to zero or even a much lower level than it did. Kind of leveled off around that 1,200 vehicle mark. Now, are these vehicles that are in transit at the moment? Are they still just kind of moving around? This we do not have a true number for. And another thing to pay attention to as well is are some of these vehicles that do not qualify for the EV tax credit? So again, on Saturday morning, I'm going to dive into the inventory that is in my area and I'll take a look and I'm going to divide that up now. I usually just go strictly by which cars are available, but now I'm going to take a look and see what 7-seaters are there, what 5-seaters are there, what different models are there. Are there models that do not qualify for the EV tax credit? Is that the majority of what is sitting there? So I'm going to dive into all of that this weekend, and at least I can get a little sample size from here in my local area to share with you guys as to see what it is. And if you guys check in your areas, if you're here in the US, to let us know what the inventory levels look like near you, especially based upon does it qualify for the EV tax credit or not, would be very important and good to know. All right, and so tonight's subscriber question comes from Krumiro Goldendrop. Wouldn't it be a good idea for Elon to give to Tesla buyers who bought right before the price cut a credit to their Tesla account of the same amount of the difference paid, pre-cut minus post-cut, usable to acquire any Tesla products, untransferable, and 5-year expiration date, such as supercharger miles, FSD, Tesla accessories, or even usable as part of the payment to buy a second Tesla? I cannot imagine a better PR chess move for him, and if promised by Tesla that it will be a habit, it would prevent in the future people from waiting for the next discount. Maybe if enough of you mentions it in your videos, tweets, the idea will reach the ear of Elon, and who knows, one morning he wakes up in a super good mood and does it with a single phone call. So my reply is this. My two thoughts on this are, it sounds like a great PR move to appease those customers. However, many of those customers bought before the first of the year. So a lot of the people who were complaining were ones who bought it back in, somewhere in September, somewhere in December. So going back that far does not make sense. So how many people between the first of the year and now were actually having issues? For those who bought in the first 12 days of the year, My question is, why didn't they buy in 2022 when there was the discount? Why did they wait till there wasn't a discount to buy? For customers who tried taking advantage of the $7,500 and Tesla was unable to deliver in time, I feel that those are the ones that could be extended an offer of some sort, as that was on Tesla not being able to accomplish getting them their deliveries. And so, quite honestly, I think that's really what it comes down to is if there really is anybody who has an issue, I don't know how many vehicles were sold in the first 12 days of the year. So I think those people would be ones that could qualify for something as far as, reimbursement or something for their vehicles that they purchased. However, if Tesla does this and does make a habit of it, then people are just going to continue to do this and it's going to continue to cost money for Tesla in the future. And honestly, what it comes down to is, me being a retail manager for almost 20 years now, if I have a situation that something myself or my company has caused the customer to lose, we do a lot of rentals. If the equipment didn't work, we absolutely reimburse them for that. We take care of our customers in that manner. So if it was something that was definitely on us, we will take care of it. So, in my opinion, if there's any customers who took their deliveries between the 1st and the 12th, and the reason they took it between those times is because they ordered it in December and could not get delivery because Tesla could not get it to them fast enough, Tesla should definitely compensate those people in some way. And the way that it was presented here, I think that is a very viable option. We will give you a compensation of, hey, we told you that we were going to be able to deliver it in December. You were going to get $7,500 off. We were not able to deliver. Now we are offering this big difference and a discount later on. So we will make up that difference in the middle, somewhere in between. Or even if they offered them the $7,500 that they missed out on from the end of the year, they should work with them on that. That is just my opinion on this, and you guys can let me know in the comments below how you feel about that. But I do think that if it is something that Tesla could not deliver on their promise, they should come through and do something for those customers. However, if it was something where the customer just decided to place their order between the 1st and the 12th, that's on you. It stinks. But again, I've been in retail long enough. Sales come up all the time. Sometimes you miss out on them. It's just the timing of things. And again, if you purchased the vehicle and you were comfortable with paying the price that you paid for it and you think you got a good value on it, that's it. Because the way I'm looking at the way prices are going to go over the next few years, we may come down a little bit more this year, but eventually we're going to find that sweet spot with pricing, and prices are probably going to end up going back up over time, probably come 2024, 2025. Don't forget, Teslas hold their value significantly longer than other vehicles. So if you hold on to the vehicle for longer, you might get to a point where the price of the vehicle goes up, the value goes up, and so resale value is even better than what you purchased it for in the first place, or maybe just not as depreciated as much. So that's my take on that. Otherwise, the stock today basically flat on the day. We'll see how we go into tomorrow for Friday. Tomorrow night, we do have Ladies' Night. We already have lined up. Jen Strahan will be on again. We have Fa Sky who will be here, and Alexandra will be popping in at some point. If there's any ladies who are watching this right now and you'd like to join us tomorrow evening, please let us know, and I will give you guys a link so that you can hop on and join us as well. And it is open to view for anyone who wants to join and chat in the comments also. So otherwise, that's all we've got for you tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one.